Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of T.E.A.R.S. Now today I'm going to be playing Disney's The Lion King. This is the same game that appeared on the Sega Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, the PC, the Game Boy and the NES. There are also games released for the Master System and the Game Gear, but they were different games, although they were platformers. This is of course based on the 1994 Disney film with the same name, one of my all-time favourites in fact. Now, of course, this was later ported to the Amiga by, of course, Virgin Interactive. The music is here now. It's, of course, a reproduction of Circle of Life. The music in this version was done by Alistair Brimble, of all people. This is one of his better works, in fact. Anyway, so let's start the game. It's Timon saying, "It starts." Alright, the first level, of course, is the Pride Dance. And here we go. This is what the Amiga version looks like. Yeah, it looks quite nice. The animation on the Amiga sprite is it's really impressive. Simba sprite, I should say. This was a decent platform game on the other systems. It did get very hard towards the end though. Especially for its target audience, which was of course kids. I did think it did get very hard, a bit too hard, a bit later on. That was my only criticism of this game. But it was a pretty decent game. The music, particularly in this version, is really good. I mean, this is probably one of Alistair Brimble's best works, and it's very favourable to the original film soundtrack and whatnot. But overall, how do I actually feel about this Amiga version of the game? Tell you the truth, guys. It's not actually a great conversion, really. There are problems that I'll explain. Yeah, there are various problems with this game which I'll explain as I go along. One of the first problems I noticed with this game was that the game frequently would drop the frame rate for no reason at all. Yeah, It's supposed to run at like 50 frames a second, but sometimes the frame rate drops to 25, so it doesn't really run that smooth. There's also one level where the slowdown is horrendous, and it's just no reason at all. So I honestly don't know why it does slow down. I mean, the Amiga's pretty capable of doing this. They're playing this game quite smoothly. Of course, this is an AGA only game, so you do need an 800 here. And there's there's one bug I need to point out. As I climb up here and roll down the hill, you'll see on the other versions, the hyena is supposed to wait for you until you arrive, but in this one, he starts attacking you straight away, which is a nasty bug if you ask me. But here's the biggest problem of the game. The next level is the Elephant Graveyard. Now, for those of you who've played the other versions of this game, you're probably thinking, oh, yeah, Potty Boy's edited out the second level of the game, whatnot. Nope, this is the second level on the Amiga version. The Amiga version was very badly cut down. Mostly because but some people say it's they cut levels out just simply because the game took reduced the amount of discs used and stuff. But some people say it was a rush to get the game out. And to tell you the truth, guys, I think it's the latter. I think honestly they had to miss out a few levels to get the game out in time, because I think the Amiga version came out in 1994, which of course was the year that Commodore went bust, and the future of the Amiga was a bit uncertain. So I think Virgin Interactive decided that they would release it for people who had the Amiga, because quite a few people had Amigas at the time, and but they had a much smaller development team, and overall it just as you can see, they had to finish at the same time as the Mega Drive version, which I think had a slightly bigger programming team. Perhaps it had more testing and whatnot, but here this version was done by about 5 people, and and I think it shows. Yeah, there's there's a few bugs in this version. There's frame rate drops, and of course there are levels missing. Now there are 3 levels missing in total. You've got as well the second level, of course, on the SNES and Mega Drive versions was the Can't Wait to Be King, which was a really good level. I liked the puzzle element in that one, whereby you had to vote the monkeys and things and whatnot, and it's a real shame that level is missing from this version. Other levels missing. Hakuna Matata is missing. That's one level that's not present in the Amiga original, and it's one of the other levels. I think it's Simba's Return. I think there is actually a level called Simba's Return, but I think it's it was the last level in the Amiga version is Simba's Return, but it's actually Pride Rock. It's the last level where you have to beat Scar and things. Obviously they had to include that level, obviously, otherwise the game wouldn't finish properly. But yeah, so it's just Can't Wait to Be King, Hakuna Matata, and one of the Simba levels, the Simba's Return. I think it is. It's missing. It's the one whereby you have to go into the caverns, whereby you have to push up, turn to caverns and whatnot and things. It's that level. But overall, but it's not just those levels that are missing. You've also got all the bonus stages have been removed. All the Timon and Pumbaa bonus stages, Timon and Pumbaa, they've been removed, as well as pretty much all the cutscenes, bar obviously the Timon saying it starts. There's also on the I think it's Simba's Destiny. On Simba's Destiny level, at the end of the level, whereby he goes to the lake, you reach that lake, and Mufasa appears and says you must take your place in the circle of life. And then there's the end, and then there's the ending as well, whereby you see adult Simba standing on Pride Rock saying everything the light, and basically you hear Mufasa saying everything the light touches is our kingdom. And I'll tell you something, it's got one of the lamest endings ever. It's really not worth playing this game for, guys. And so it's got missing levels, loads of slowdown, quite a few bugs as well. It's significantly easier as well. The hyenas here, for example, on the other versions, it's 1 hit if you're on easy mode, 2 if you're on normal, and 3 on difficult. On here, it's 1 hit no matter what difficulty level you put it on. In which case, this is the normal difficulty setting. You get things like more lives. You got more lives to power 100. So I mean, I've got 9 lives at the moment, and anyway, well, this is actually one stage here that I'm really glad they kept in, because I mean, obviously it was one of the most important parts of the film. It moved the story on. This is the Stampede level, and this was one of my favourite levels on the. This is probably my personal favourite level on the other versions, and I'm really glad they actually did include it here. And here it looks really nice. This is probably the high point of this version. It's got a really nice version of the Stampede scene, but even this couldn't really save the Amiga version really from being a pretty disappointing port. Really, it's not really a fantastic version. Like I said, on all the other systems it was pretty decent, but here it just kind of felt rushed. With the levels missing. There's quite a fair bit of slowdown as well. And I'll tell you something else. I mean, after seeing what they did with Aladdin, I mean that was I was so disappointed with this version. Considering I mean Aladdin on the Amiga was fantastic. It had all the features of the Mega Drive, the original Mega Drive game. It played really well. It was just a fantastic conversion. And after playing that, this game is a bit of a disappointment. I mean, obviously, I mean, Aladdin was always the better game in my opinion. I thought the difficulty level was more balanced, but here this is but even this was a surprisingly decent game. It was really quite highly polished. It was challenging. I mean, to the point of being frustrating at times, but but overall, it was a very decent game. It was a nice looking game as well. you have to give it to them. It was a really nice looking game, and I just, I mean, to be fair, I mean, I remember getting this game for Christmas, for the Amiga, obviously, and overall, I just kind of felt, I literally at the time thought it was one of those games whereby you only got the extra levels if you played on harder difficulty. But no matter how hard I tried, you didn't get the extra levels at all. And I came to the conclusion that they're just not included in the Amiga one, and that's what made me feel so disappointed about this one. Just the fact it's got so much stuff missing, and there's a load of bugs and problems and stuff, and it's significantly easier as well. I have actually done a long play video of this game, which I'm using the same footage here for. I've uploaded it as a separate video. Anyway guys, come up to the end of the video now. I'm a bit disappointed with this conversion really. I'm going to give this one 2 out of 5. It's a very shoddy port. Anyway, thank you very much for watching guys. I shall be back soon with another T.E.A.R.S video, and in the meantime, goodbye for now.